All right, so activity number 3. Um, work with a partner. So activity 3, we're going to be solving inequalities. 1 and 2, we're writing them. Now we're going to resolve them. Work with a partner. Complete the following steps for activity 1, then repeat for activity 2. All right, so I'm going to go back to activity 1 and write my inequality, which was 2x is less than or equal to 20. So 2x is less than or equal to 20. Okay, and it says replace the inequality symbol with an equal sign. So I'm going to go 2x equals 20. All right, so I'm just following it step by step. What does it tell me to do? All right, so solve the equation. Now, this is assuming that you already know and you remember how to solve the equation because we did that in an earlier section. And it's been some of the warm-up. So that's assuming that you already know how to solve the equation. And my equation is 2x equals 20. Right? I need to divide, use the inverse operation, so divide both by 2. Right? And I'm left with x equals, these cross each other out, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So x equals 10. Okay, part 3, step 3, replace the equal sign with the original inequality symbol. So I'm going to take that equal sign, I'm going to take that down. I'm just saying, I'm going to take that down, and instead of the equal sign, I'm going to replace it back with my original inequality, which was less than or equal to 10. Right? And then graph this new inequality. So if I remember how to graph, I'm going to find 10. I'm going to use a closed circle because 10 is included. And then x is going to be less than or equal to 10, so it's going to be to the left. And so my inequality, that is my inequality graph. X is less than or equal to 10. All right, compare the graph with your graph in part B. What do you notice? Okay, so part B, activity 1, I started 10 was my highest value, and I said anything below 10 would make that inequality, would be a solution to inequality. So very similar, right? And I wasn't graphing an inequality there, I was just plotting the different values. But if you notice, 10 was my max, and over here, 10 is my max, okay? And, all right, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to erase this and do the same thing for activity 2. So these activities, they're assuming that you retain the information that you learned from previous chapters or sections. All right, and earlier before break, we saw the equation, and up to this point, we've been graphing inequality. So it's always assumed that you know how to do those. So if you ever forget how to do something such as that, such as solve the equation or graph an inequality, if you have a computer available, Google it. And if you don't have your computer, or if you want to go to Big Ideas and go to your textbook, you can find that in your textbook in the table of contents. So a lot of these activities, and that goes to say with future learning, it's basing it off the understanding that you've already mastered previous learning. Well, I know that's not always the case. It is kind of understood that you know them. And so I'm going to erase this real quick, erase all of it, and do the second part. So now I'm just doing the same thing with activity 2. So 1/4 x is less than or equal to 20. So I have 1/4 x less than or equal to 20. All right, now I'm going to replace that inequality symbol with an equal sign, and I have 1/4 x equals 20. All right, now I'm going to solve the equation. So I'm just going to rewrite it. 1/4 x equals 20. All right, and then multiply, remember the inverse operation of 1/4 to find the reciprocal of the fraction, so times 4, 1, and that'd be times 4, 1. All right, these cross each other out, so I'm left with x equals 20 times 4 is 80, and 80 divided by 1 is 80, so x equals 80. All right, so part 3, replace the equal sign with the original inequality symbol, so x was less than or equal to 80. Okay, Now, graph inequality. So x, whatever x is, it's got to be less than or equal to 80. So I'm going to put 80 over here, and I'm going to shade everything to the left less than 80. So x can be any value that is less than or equal to 80. All right, now graph compare this with part B, and it should be very similar. All right, so I wasn't graphing inequality here. I was just placing all the possible values. That's why I have all these individual dots. But if you notice, 80 was my max, and it was all my other values were less than 80. And so that's how they are similar. All right, so go ahead and stop the video and do activity 4, and then we'll go over the answers for activity 4.